Okay, so the interview, most of you have probably had some experience with interviews now, and I hope what you're doing is from the lab you did in interviews. When I guess to touch on those labs that you've done so far, I think is valuable. So you did your timeline that organized when you do what you do, key issue in research. So much of what gets lost in research is because people didn't plan their time properly. PhDs that are failed because they didn't plan their time properly. The hypothesis, when you've tried it, you get a statement. I'm hoping you either review it and say, wow, I did a great job, or, oh, if I was redoing it, I would do another. That's the value of the lab. So you're thinking about how do I break these into categories other than the standards that the library's given you. Survey, you saw the questionnaires. You got to look at questions and flawed questions. What do you like? What don't you like? What makes a good set of questions? So now into the interview. I just want to follow up on that a little because you touched on all of you have done some, I'm guessing, and I'm hoping you're reviewing your interviews now. The most valuable thing I got in doing interviews was a sheet of paper. On the left side, I wrote my questions. On the right side, I wrote the answers. And I could highlight as I went little areas that mattered to me, a little asterisk or something that let me go back quickly to the place I wanted to follow up on later. When someone's talking in that interview, you don't want to interrupt them. Let them be in charge. You're just a navigator. That's a big deal in interviewing. The one that was posted for interviews was a really good interview. That was someone with complete risk. And I think the key issue in interviews is being vulnerable. You're asking someone to be vulnerable in an interview, to tell you things that they're not comfortable with, to tell you things they don't want to talk about, to tell you things that have some risk. That's an interview. Whether it be in the real world of working with someone in need and care, or whether it's in a research project, either way, that's what makes the interview work. So the one I posted of Russell Williams, when you watch one on in that room, how that interview handled it, the interviewer just simply kept adjusting, adapting, trying to make it comfortable so that this person would feel safe. And that's the key to it, safe to talk. In the end, he did, and he faced huge risk in doing it, but he did it anyways. That's why I posted it. You're trying to get someone in a social position in research, much less sanction issues, maybe their job though, as opposed to the real world of social work. You are probably going to deal with people in really vulnerable situations that understand the risk they face or the emotions involved that come with potentially disclosing something. It's not just about confidentiality. There's a feel in that room that you need to get. So good interviewing, long, slow, and you don't matter in the interview room as much as them.